So Paul Craigle was a wonderful man. The more I learned about him, somebody you would imagine like a hero or someone you want to kind of be like in your life, because he has passion and had passion for something and was enthusiastic enough to kind of put his life behind a very specific cause. So Paul Craigle was somebody who lived in this area and was passionate about duck hunting and birds and migratory species of birds just in general. And so Paul Craigle noticed the importance of this island, and at the time the millinery trade, so collecting feathers off of birds, unfortunately no longer alive, for beautiful hats for people in urban cities like in New York. One scientist did a survey of Fifth Avenue in New York, and I think he counted something like a couple hundred species of birds just by looking at feathers in women's hats. And some of the most beautiful ornate hats were entire birds. So this trade was so big and it was moving really fast at the time that a pound of feathers was worth more than a pound of gold.
Wow.
Or even an ounce of feathers and an ounce of gold. You could do the math.
Yeah.
So Paul Craigle, he kind of noticed before other people did the importance of the island and wanted to protect the birds, and kind of on his own kind of protected the birds here. And a few activists and environmentalists at the time brought it to the attention of Teddy Roosevelt. And Teddy Roosevelt felt that he had to do something. And with a snap of a finger or the swipe of a pen, he designated Pelican Island as our nation's first wildlife refuge and put a badge on Paul Craigle. And he became our first wildlife warden.
Wow, that is so awesome. And I liked what Jeremy was saying earlier, the power of one person.
Yep, and that's what I mean, but it was really important. And I look at Paul Craigle and what he did as like a model for something we can all do in our lives, because the world is so big and there's so many people and there's so many things happening that you could get bogged down by it. But if you could just kind of pick out what drives you and what you could be enthusiastic and passionate about, and just put yourself into that, like Paul Craigle did in protecting this one little 5-acre island, you know, and the importance of that. And now you have us here, you know, following in his footsteps, and you know, the wildlife refuge system, which is no longer one small island, which protects species and habitats around the United States.
From one act, I literally have goosebumps even on my legs, because it's like, because it's so exciting. One person stood up, and I know it's hard because a lot of us, we think somebody else will do it, or we don't want the problems or the hassle. But if we, like you said, follow what fuels us and what drives us, and let that carry us, then, you know, that gives us energy, and get together with other people, like you said.
Yeah, totally. Because Paul Craigle, although one person, you know, his enthusiasm and passion was infectious at the time and got other people to act. And it may seem too big for us, like you said, and it may feel like, oh, what I do is not enough. But what you do and your enthusiasm and passion will be infectious to the others around you and help other people to help you act. And if we all could work together as one big team, one big family, then we can get a lot done.